Yes, we're back again, Square Circle Podcast, and today we've got a very special guest for different reasons. His first name and surname contains 4 syllables. He's a pro boxer. He's been on Love Island, and no, it's not Tommy Fury. Okay, please welcome today on my show, Frankie Davey. How you doing, bud?
I'm very well, thank you. Less of the Love Island now. I think we just dropped that. Don't put that in the intro.
Well, we're gonna get straight into that before we go into your boxing because you've got a massive following. You're a pro boxer. You're 9 fights?
10.
10 fights altogether.
Yeah.
Massive following. You can box. What, just to go into, just to get, because we talk about Misfits quite a lot because it's so prominent in there.
Yeah.
What has made you want to go down a traditional route as opposed to potentially making the money you probably could make if you were to give them guys a call?
Do you know what? I've been boxing since I was 15. And even before my last fight, in the build-up, there was a lot of talk about influencer versus boxer being my opponent.
As in you?
No, so me, I'm the influencer versus my opponent being the boxer. It was kind of build between us both. It was like he was making a few jibes with that. And it built the fight up well, so it is what it is. But it's actually my dad that said it in one of my YouTube videos. He said, Frankie's been boxing since he was 15. Before social media was even really a thing, Frankie was boxing. And then that was always been my goal. As soon as I started boxing, give it 6 months to a year, I wanted to turn pro and I wanted to win titles. So the social media thing came after, but that doesn't change the objective from the start, which was to achieve big things in the sport. So there's the money side, but I don't think the money's as big as people talk about in Misfits, really. Unless you are already a big name, like, say, Tate or KSI himself. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really interest me per se. Unless there was a big fight, it doesn't interest me. I was in the sport, like with anything, to become the best I could be. So, yeah.
Okay, that's a fair comment. And maybe, people are probably overestimating how much they're actually getting for these fights. I think
so. I genuinely think so.
Yeah, and I think, okay, let me change it around then. Put money not to the side because money's important, right? If the money was okay per se, like it was, it was more than what you'd get for running around selling tickets in your purse or what you get on a fight. But what about the other opportunities that are open? We're going to get into your electrolytes obviously a little bit later in the show, but what about the other stuff that you could potentially get off the back of that? I mean, you go on a Box Nation show or whatever show, a TM24 or TM14, whatever it is. After that show, it's basically done. Like you go back to drawing board, you got the next fight. You go on something like a Misfit show, the avenues that can open up for someone like yourself is very, very, brand-wise, on social media. It could open up more doors for you. Do you think about it? Does that matter to you, or are you not really bothered?
Being truthful, I'm not that bothered. I think even after my last fight, they're saying fight of the year contender. It did record views for Box Nation. Main event on my first show, my 10th professional fight. A lot has or can, it has, but it will come off the back of that in terms of, signing with a big promoter, Frank, Eddie, winning major titles that people actually recognise. Those are the things I care about more.
Okay, that's good to hear.
So, yeah, I think that's the plan. As you said, money, but even put money to the side, I don't believe that. The difference, I suppose, with Misfits is you got someone who's, say, never really boxed before. They do a Misfits fight and they might get way more than a pro would for his debut, which, okay, is cool, but I'm not on my debut stage now. I'm at 10 fights and I don't think the pay is going to be much different.
Okay, that's good. You're sort of leading into questions without me even looking at my phone, so it's really, really good.
All right.
Do you stay ready or do you get ready at the stage you're at? Like when you're, in the beginning part of your pro career, it's like, how often can I get out? Now you're like 10, going to 11 and 12 and beyond now. Are you set for 10, 12-week camps now, or do you stay ready waiting? Basically, do you now take 5-day or 1 week out or 2 week out calls?
It's interesting you say this. I was actually thinking about this on the way here, where I'm always in shape in terms of my weight. I've never really blown up. I'm always quite lean. I still have to cut weight because I'm walking around a lot heavier now, but I'm still lean.
Yeah.
If I then got myself fat, I'd be walking at like 90 kilos.
Wow, okay.
So I have grown and filled out as a man. But in terms of camp now, because a lot of people that follow me might know this, but where I live versus where I train, I drive an hour and a half there. It's near here, actually, Harlow.
Okay, yeah.
So I drive an hour and a half from my house and an hour and a half back home every day, Monday to Friday, when I'm in camp. So then when I'm not in camp, do you know what? It's not. I don't even want to break from the gym. I want to break from the driving. I'm like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I can't be bothered with that.
Okay.
And then my gym is quite like, when you're in camp, they want you there every day. When you're not training, it's like, we'd rather you kind of just be here or not here. So to just pop in for the odd day is not really how things are done.
Yeah.
And also because I'm in a gym that's full of active fighters, they're all working towards days. So at the moment we've got Jamie TKV, he's fighting Fraser Clark soon. So my coach, Barry Smith, he's heavily on Jamie.
Yeah.
But then if I've not got a fight day, it's kind of like, we'll give Frankie a bit of time, but obviously he's the focus, and rightly so. Yeah. So unless I've got a fight, it's, But to bring back to your actual question, I do stay ready, but there's a different ready. So I'm like here, and then when the fight is announced or kind of, I guess announced, 8 weeks, boom, right here, straight in, locked in, let's go.
Taper up, taper down. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because obviously, as you got these debutants who like they'll be fighting every other month, and then so are you at a stage now where if Barry got a call like for something for next week, would you take it? Are you not actually like that anymore? Not there.
Do you know what, as much as every fight would be like, yeah, like you'd obviously weigh it up, and you'd be like, I'd back myself no matter what. However, there's a you've got to kind of think about it a little bit. If your career's on the line, you're going to take a fight off for 1 week's notice. How much training has that guy got? It's one of them. If I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't. I like to think I'm smarter than that. Interestingly, Box Raw, and I know the owners, this is no shade against them, they asked me to do their sparring club thing.
Oh, okay.
At the moment, I couldn't because my hand's still busted from my fight.
Okay.
But on the topic of that, it's like actually, if you think of the concept, you're kind of sparring, taking damage to the head for no payment, no whatever. Yeah. Like, you've got to think about your health sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back to what you said, if 1 week notice, if I'm not fully prepared and I'm not as fit as I should I be entering the ring? Probably not.
Okay, so I know Barry Smith quite well. You can ask him that. He knows me very well. I used to train with Barry when I was fighting, and
really,
he'd do the body bag and the gloves.
Yeah.
Very, very annoying because as soon as you start getting tired, he starts popping. Away, so
the popular bomber.
He put his gloves on. He had the big body bag on. The first 4 or 5 rounds, let me just hit the body bag. Wouldn't do nothing. But as soon as I started fatiguing, he throws the body and he pop. He's like, oh, shit. Move out of the way. So know Barry Smith very well. He's done very, very well. Very proud of him as a coach.
He's a character.
Very, very much. Whip.
Yeah, whip. Yeah. Well, it's giving me PTSD.
So how's the pro journey been for you thus far? Honestly,
it's been some journey, to be honest. I mean, only my last fight was kind of like, I guess, the breakout of main event, main stage, almost my show, A side, headlining. But early on, I debuted in Norwich, just like very, very small local show.
Wow.
I had 4 fights. Yeah, so first 4 fights were in Norwich, and I was training in Norwich at the time. I didn't feel like I was progressing at all. So I got to my 4th fight, and then that was when I was like, I need to switch things up. Like, I need to.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to cut in on this one.
Go on.
Please go into detail on this because...
Yeah, I suppose this is, people don't really know. Yeah.
No, more like, you said you weren't progressing. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? The coaching staff you had, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They know you very well?
Yeah. I haven't spoken to them for a while, but they know me well.
They know you well?
Yeah.
Talk to me about, because it's about you. As a fighter, it's about you.
Yeah.
It's your career. The decisions you make and don't make are going to be ultimately down to you.
That's a key point, yeah, which I'll remember when I've got. So,
go on.
All right. No, I was going to say, as a fighter, your career is about you. So I was young and naive, I believe. And it's not something I've spoke about. I'm not going to mention any names. I wish them all the best. Mm-hmm. And I always have. But from my debut to, say, my 4th fight, I didn't get any better. There was actually, again, someone I've never spoke about. Before my 4th fight, my coach at the time, we had a little bit of a falling out, and he didn't speak to me for 2 weeks before the fight at all. He didn't like certain things, possibly social media. I had Box Raw coming down, and they filmed with me at the gym. He didn't even speak to me throughout the whole shoot. So I was thinking, I've got 2 people here from Box Raw coming to shoot me, and then my coach isn't even talking to me. How does that make me look? different things like this, which again, I'm not naming names, and I do wish them the best now. It's just not something I really spoke about. I didn't think I was going to be speaking about it today. But yeah, I've watched my debut to the fourth fight. There was no improvement there. And I knew deep down that it wasn't because of me, in terms of, that sounds really arrogant. That's not how I mean it. I always put, you could ask anyone, I always put the time in. I was training twice a day meticulously all the time. Boxing was my absolute life. I didn't even do as much social media as I do now. And I wasn't improving. So I was like, something's going wrong. I turn up to the gym, we do the same thing every day. And it's like, how can you expect to improve when you're not changing anything? What's that quote about being insane? Something about doing the same thing over and over and expecting change is the definition of insanity.
You know what? I hear what you're saying. But if you go to, and I think we're going to keep it a buck between me and you and not mention people's names, because I don't think that's fair, because they're not here to defend themselves. But at the same time, I honestly think, me as someone who's fought me now as a coach, it's like the simple things are key. And I think social media, inadvertently and from a subconscious point of view, has led people to think it's all got to be tricks and flicks.
That's right.
You know, and certain fighters on the higher level, they project that through their social media. So other fighters think, well, I'm not, like, I have been privileged to see and look at certain camps and what they do sometimes. And trust me, it's nothing pretty. There's nothing fancy. It's concise and direct. And sometimes, like anything, people always want more, right? People always want to, like anything, like a fight, you want to make sure you can be the best you can be, and you'll do whatever you need to do to be the best. I just feel sometimes communication is key. And I think sometimes, basically, what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is, I've purposely researched the amount of times fighters move trainers. And it's very rare that someone that moves multiple times achieves what they're going to achieve.
So I've moved twice. I've had two coaches.
Yeah, that's one move.
Fourth. Yeah, one move. Yeah, sorry.
This isn't you. You're still at that stage. I'm talking the higher end. When you see someone that, because you see coaching, right? There's a lot of tits in boxing, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of shit coaches in boxing. Yeah. However, even the average to good coaches know what an individual should do, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
If you can't get into that fighter's head and aid or help or guide that person to execute what you need, it doesn't matter how good you are.
No, where I was, they were very stuck in their ways, and I knew that, and it was nothing was going to change, so I had to make the change. Where I am now, I completely agree with you. Everything it's not fancy, it's hard work, and it's simple. I didn't put the gloves on for 3 months when I moved to my new gym with Barry. He said shadowbox, and he was watching me shadowbox, and we were breaking it down.
It's about.
Exactly.
But do you know how many kids?
They want the flashy pads.
But do you know how many kids wouldn't? I mean, I heard a story about, I think the person in your gym, my son loves the fighter, Barney. No, what's his name?
Royston Barney Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When he first come, Ben didn't give him no pads.
No.
But that's when you know the person's committed, because if you give the pads too quickly, it's like they're getting everything they want.
Barry Smith.
To hear that is really good.
Barry Smith, I'd turn up every day and we'd do drills, shadowboxing drills, Monday to Friday, and I'll be in the ring for an hour and a half, 2 hours, shadowboxing. And I genuinely think he thought he won't last. Barry didn't rate me when I first come to the gym. He even told me this before my fight. He said, to think now you're headlining Box Nation show and fighting for the Commonwealth silver title and the English title eliminator, he's like, no one saw that coming. Apparently him, Ben Davis and Elite Wiley were having a chat the week of my fight. And then he told me. And I was like, yeah, to be honest, yeah. Obviously I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
But I could tell from him, he's like, he won't last. So just kept coming up, kept turning up every single day.
And you were just shadowboxing?
Just shadowboxing. And he'd say 12 p.m. and I'll get there at half.
Do you know
11.
how important this is, guys? Like, in 2025, whether it's professional, amateur, white collar, unlicensed, if you told a fighter for the next 3 months, you're going to just shadowbox, they wouldn't come back. They wouldn't come back. And I'm really glad you shared this point, because I think you always can go to the high-end people like Inoue and the Terence Crawfords, and it's like, oh yeah, listen to them. But having someone at your stage of your career saying you had to do that for 3 months, I mean, Andre Ward even says it, and I'm quoting a lot of the hiring guys. It's just the people that project this information. It's like after he finishes training, he shadowboxes for 30, 35 minutes. That's after he's done his 2 hours training.
Do you know what else we did? He had someone throw punches at me for 12 rounds. This would be like another, after the 3 months, or maybe towards the back end, do another kind of month of this. He'd just have someone throwing punches at me and I had to block them.
I did that with Darren Hamilton, light welterweight British champion. When I was at white collar level, he really cottoned on quite quick. I was quite quick. I was quite agile. He goes, okay, cool. Now we're just working your defense in.
Yeah.
Now imagine having 18 guys, that don't know what they're doing.
All at once.
Basically, 18 guys coming in, minute out, minute in, throwing shots. Obviously, you're with pros, so they sort of know how to throw. And you could, these guys at that level, they throw from angles you never even heard of. So you have to actually, you have to actually know exactly. So do you know how much pleasure it gives me to hear you've gone through this? Because trust me, there's a lot of fighters that do not go through that.
It's like the grind that you can't cheat. And actually, I think it showed in my last fight where you saw, if you see my last fight.
I've seen parts of it. Yeah.
If you see my opponent's face the next day and then versus mine.
Yeah.
Like, I was fresh. I was in a nice hotel sipping some red wine the next night. I don't know what he was doing. And there's full respect between us.
Yeah,
but
in
terms of the shots, there's one shot he caught me with and it put me down in the 6th round that I didn't see.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was rolling on the shoulders, I was blocking, I was catching. And that's kind of testament to the time and the hours that I put in of having people try and
look into that camera and just give a very small, because I only had to talk, I can see that, which is good. Just for the up and coming fighters, because I'm telling you now, you tell a fighter to do that for 3 months, they're not coming back. So what
this is why, before I do this message, it's why when you say about Misfits, I feel like I've been through too much to do like a Misfits kind of like, I think that kind of degrades my name a little bit, bring it back to say the Love Island. I don't regret anything. However, that is the only taint on my name, which I kind of wish possibly shouldn't be there or couldn't, get that off.
But
I can't now, and what's done is done. I don't believe in regretting things in life.
You can't, because we are where we are.
Yeah, when you say I've done the hours, I've done the time in the gym, I've been around world champion, or I am around world champions. Misfits isn't really. Why should I do that?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, but to all the young fighters out there, as I said, you can't cheat the grind. You have to put the hours in. You have to put even the road work. As someone I've spoken about recently on my social media, I'll do 60-minute treadmill runs, and I get on, and you don't get off until 6 minutes is done. And I'll do that 3-4 times a week. But in terms of boxing life, shadow boxing, defense drills, footwork drills, your ab work, all of that stuff, you can't cheat that. That's the thing. You have to put the hours in. You have to put the time in. That's the only way you're going to become better as a fighter.
And that is very, very special. I mean, I don't have got to do much. I might just let him just take over the rest of the episode, because I've been projecting these things for so long. And whatever you did. But it was. I think the thing is that unless these young fighters hear these things, they don't hear it. No. You hear a new age say, Quill's like, whatever. Like, you're like up there now. But you're doing it from here. Yeah. So imagine
and
now.
And they were too, though. They were too. And they kind of, you look at the guys up here and you see them doing it, you think, but they must have been doing something else. They weren't.
No,
they weren't. They just did the same thing. But sort of back to, you could argue, where I was at the start of my career, why don't you just keep doing that? But I knew that wasn't the right thing to do. We were doing the basics, but nothing was changing. Yeah. Whereas in my gym, it's very analytical, and I've come on massively since being around Barry and even Ben overseeing things. It's all, they break things down, but then the drills are then simple.
Yeah.
So they might watch an opponent, they watch a thing, right? Okay, and it's just physical chess. Physical chess. Ben made me see boxing like, wow, I don't even know boxing before I went to Ben's gym with Barry and everyone. But it honestly is a different world. And there's so many fighters that have walked through the gym's door and be like, I thought I was good at boxing until I came here.
Yeah.
And it's...
But again, obviously I know Ben, very analytical, very precise, very direct. You've got a massive mix of people in your gym. Is it for everyone? Can everyone take on that information and execute stuff the way they do?
No. And actually, though I don't train directly with Ben, I think I suit that style because I'm quite... I was good at school. I got good GCSEs. I did A-level physics, maths and economics, and I feel like I take on information quite well.
Right, son? You hear that? That's my son over there. He's just in his first year of maths.
Yeah, stay at school.
And politics. Yeah. So
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And he actually was boxing and stopped. And I'm gonna quote him on this now. He's gonna get a bit angry, but still, he came to me. Father son had a crazy heart to heart, and he goes, "I don't want to box anymore." And I always said to him, "I don't want to box. It's fine, you know." Mm-hmm. But when he summed it up, this is going to be excluding you because obviously you've got grades. But he said, Dad, I'm very intelligent. Like, I'm smart. The people that box, most of them don't have anything else. Like, I've actually got a brain.
Yeah.
And I was obviously sad, as you can appreciate, but
you can't force it on him.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I had this conversation the other day with someone that said, sort of off topic, but where he was pushing his son into the gym, and his son said, "I'm only going because you're taking me." And I said, "You need to kind of not that I'm a parent, but I was like, you need to stop taking him. You got to want it here." My dad never had to force me to go to the gym. I remember always stood at the door,
but do you not
waiting for him to get in the car.
Yeah, do you not think there's an element before that though? Like, are you telling me Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Lewis Hamilton, they didn't have to be pushed for a period until it sunk in? Like, no one just wakes up. Like, you hear those gimmick stories. Oh, ever since I was 4. Come on, man. You don't know fuck all at 4 or 5 or 6.
I think with fighters, they've gone through some form of trauma, whatever that may be in their life, to get to whether. Even me, I would say it's a minimal form, but my parents splitting up, I think, was probably the catalyst. At the time, didn't feel like it affected me, but now looking back, I was like, actually, what did I have to really cling on to make me angry, I wasn't angry, but do you know what I mean? Make you want to go and punch someone or like, that's not a normal thing to do. And then that stuck with me. If it was that, I'll turn up to the gym and I'll train. Most people, I can't bother today, that's all it takes. They just don't turn up. Me, you have to have a bit of a screw loose, no matter the grades.
It's just a tough one because for me, if he was shit, I would have swerved it. He was actually very good, but he made a decision, and I respect it. I just feel that in this area where we are today, we have an amateur setup. We have different things. We've spoken about this on other episodes, but it's very relevant. Is that, do you honestly think if you don't have that trauma or that upbringing or come from poverty or needing a way out, do you think it's harder for those individuals to make it when the going gets tough? We've had a boxer, an amateur on our podcast called Ben Hopkins, who had a bad experience from a gym who basically went, "You're too posh to box," And
well, I came up from a good upbringing, so I agree, because I've seen that clip.
Yeah,
with Ben, I agree. Where you don't need to be poor, you don't need to be to have been bullied.
So my question is,
something would have. He might have had his heart broken by someone he had a crush on at school.
But my question is for you and him though, who've had a good upbringing.
Yeah.
What is it then that's made you or gives you that to do it? Because I've seen it at the lower end here, where they've got everything. I've had a kid who had more holidays in 4 months than the bouts we got offered for him on the amateur circuit with England Boxing, and he couldn't come to those bouts because he was going on holiday.
Right.
This is the sort of stuff we're dealing with in this area.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, someone who's come up with good grades, good upbringing, okay, mum and dad split up, which would affect everybody.
Yeah.
What else is it that's giving you that? Because, like you said, to get in the ring, and we're not talking about now, we're talking about, them 15-round spars, the 30-second rest.
I think it's a respect thing. I remember when I first started boxing at school, my respect, everyone then respected me as like, he boxes. And I quite like that. And now sitting here as a 24-year-old, I can say as a man, I like the fact that I can protect myself and my loved ones. If I'm around my missus, she's always said she always feels safe with me. And that means a lot to me.
That means more to me for him.
Yeah.
I know he can protect himself.
Yeah, but like if you're with people that are, if your daughter's with you and she feels safe around you, she doesn't, she's young, she's not going to know that because of the fine. But if you know you can carry yourself, your loved ones feel safe around you. That means a lot to me. But when I was 15, I wasn't thinking about that. As I said, there must have been something that could get quite deep here with parents or whatever it may be.
I need you to home in on it, Frankie. I need to know where.
He said, "Come for a podcast."
I need to know where the grit comes from. Where would
Stephen
that?
Bartley wants to try to get me doing some tears on it, didn't he?
Listen, we can cry. Nothing wrong with men crying. Nothing wrong with men crying. But I want to know, where does the grit come from?
I wish I knew the answer.
But you have it.
Yeah, I think I do, yeah. And actually, my last fight proved that not to bring it up, but like, though I didn't get the win, I'm happy with the last fight because you said about social media, you say about this, that, and the other. I know that I have it deep down. And I always knew that, but now the world knows. Dropped me in the 6th round with just a shot I didn't see, a flush shot. Stood back up, legs were there, everything was there. I was absolutely fine. And I came back and won the next 2 or 3 rounds. So I do believe I do have that grit in me. Why that's the case?
It's unknown. I mean, like I said, over
Does anyone
here,
else know? Does anyone else?
Do you think it's like maybe something in terms of like proving something to yourself, maybe?
Is it you in the mirror? You facing yourself in the mirror and going, I can do this? I want to find out because
I know I can do this.
The only reason I'm talking about it is because when I had a couple of guys that fought about 3 years ago on an amateur show, we went to South London. I feel like I'm repeating myself from the other podcast, but it's true. We went to South London, and I'm telling you, the 2 guys in the other corner, I knew as a coach before that bell went that them boys wanted it more. Now, when we left the building after the show, right, 2 boys lost. We was in the car driving past the bus stop. That kid that won was at the bus stop by himself, no parents, no friends, no nothing. He's going home.
Yeah.
But him in the ring, that was his cup final. That was everything to him. Those 3 2-minute rounds, he came with a completely different energy, a completely different will. And I think sometimes these kids that are wanting to go into this field are so, is it mollycoddled? They use the word I like to use it. Yeah, like that grit just doesn't ever resonate because they've never had to grit or grind for anything.
But then when I look back at my childhood, I'm thinking, neither did I really. Neither did I.
But that's what I'm saying. You and Ben are like, what's the thing called? Like something to the rule? Like,
oh yeah, against the grain.
Yeah, you two are.
I've just always, and you know what? As much as I love talking, I don't like to think I'm an arrogant person, so I don't like saying, oh, I'm this. But I have always worked hard, just kind of on the social media point. I remember running social media pages, and I had a job at Asda, and I used to do 1 Saturday a week, and I was sat in my lunch break making more money on my phone than I did in the shift. I was making like £49.
Him and Ben are cut from the same cloth. Ben was working in Greg's. Yeah. He was working in Asda. Ben would go out to his car and shoot videos. This guy's on his phone. There's something needs to be studied here. Something needs to be studied here with these two.
Water, but then he's from up north, so I don't know. I don't know how that works. It's mandatory.
That's mad.
But yeah, so I've always just worked hard, and I remember when I had my first fight, I was waking up sounds cliche, but I was generally waking up at 6 a.m. to run around my area. Then I'd get home, shower, go to school, go straight from school to the gym to box, and then I'll come home. Now I don't even get up at 6 a.m. to run. I'm in the silk sheets now. I just do it afterwards.
No, but the difference is kids aren't doing that now.
No.
Some are. But generically, if you told a kid,
wish someone could tell me the answer why I did, because even I'm trying to think. My dad's always supported me. He's never been pushy, but he's also, if I turn around to him and said I don't want to do it, he'd be like, all right, that's fine. So I'm not even doing it for him. Or my granddad, he used to box in I won't say the army, but that's not right. Some like RAF Navy thing, I don't know. But he got beat up so badly in a spar, God rest his soul, by the way, I'm not trying to speak bad on his name, that he vowed he doesn't want to do it again. So I'm not really even proving it to him, because I don't think he'd have cared if I turned to him and said I don't want to box anymore, he wouldn't have minded, because he did the same.
This might answer the question.
Go on.
What age did you think, right, I'm different and I have this ambition? What age?
So I started at 15, probably 16.
But you can have that ambition. But it's when you get in with someone and you know about yourself. So let's go back a step. When was there a spar, you haven't got to say no names, a spar that you had where you thought, all right, that was fucking hard, but you know what? I want this. Because that's when you find out about yourself. When you're with someone that knows exactly what they're doing, at a level higher than yours, you can go, you know what? Cheers. And I think at the moment, at the lower levels, people are held back.
You got me thinking. So I remember when I was 16 at my amateur gym, my second amateur gym. I was like, had a white collar fight with my first ever coach. Then I moved to England ABA. and I sparred there someone who's now a heavyweight, and he hit me with an uppercut, and I thought, oh my, that's the hardest I've ever been. I saw like flashes. It's the hardest I've ever been hit, but it was a weird, like my legs didn't go. It was just like you felt the pain of the punch, rather than like a shot that hurts you, or I say hurts you, like your legs go. You know what I mean? Or your head goes. Nothing went. I was just like, ow, that hurt. That physically hurt.
Yeah.
And I did 3 2-minute rounds because it was amateur. And after that, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that finished. But then it wasn't, as you said, it wasn't like I guess that could have been a moment. Because even then, it wasn't like, oh no, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this again. But at the time, that's possibly where I was like, yeah, well, I know if I can take a shot from him. And at the time, he was knocking everyone out in the amateurs. He's now gone on, he's a heavyweight. Now he put on a bit of weight. But I guess then was, where you know that despite the toughness of it, I knew that I had it.
Yeah, and that does come with time, because I think some people, they have a lot of conditioned or conditioning type sparring, where you never really know if, you've got that when the going gets tough. And I know that we can't leave everything in the gym, but I do think everyone should feel or be in a position that's very uncomfortable.
Do you know what? I've always had it. I've always had it. When I moved to the gym with Barry, he put me in with, again, I'm not going to name names, but he put me in with someone. And I remember, maybe I'm making it up, but I remember him saying to the person, bearing in mind I'm his fighter, I've just moved to the gym. He said to that person, try and stop him. We did 6 rounds and this guy was putting it on me, and he was a brilliant amateur, and at the time probably even English level, maybe British level. And he was trying to tell him to stop me in my first spar at the gym. And he didn't. That sounds really arrogant. That's not how I meant it, but
no. But sometimes
and he didn't, and it's like,
saying no names within the same gym. I mean, I've heard it
was the way I said Annie did.
I think there was a guy down here that went and sparred at your gym, and he sparred the previous heavyweight champion of the world, without mentioning your names. Okay. But all that my colleague heard when the round was about to go was said person say to said person, go hunting. And you can imagine what the individual thought when you heard him say that. So, listen, he was all right. That's the game. That's the game. He was all right in the end, but imagine you're in this corner, ex-heavyweight champion of the world, he's training, goes, right, go hunting. Like, what? No, I'm all right, I'm good. So, I do think, spars are where people find out about themselves, and without too many of those type of spars, which are very much needed and for character building and everything else, you get in the ring with 10-ounce gloves and you're in that position. It's not a nice place to be. No. So out of your 10 fights so far, was there been another tick box? Again, we've gone the sparring, you've gone, yep, hit with uppercut, whatever. Have you then gone through, we're going to talk about that flash knockdown, was that the one, or was there anything else in your 10 fights where you thought, bloody hell, that was a bit mad, but you know what? I fucking want this.
Do you know what? Yeah, I want it. My last fight would be, I want this. I remember looking at my opponent. We did like a podcast thing similar to this. This is a much better setup, though, I'll be honest. They're going to watch this. They're going to watch why have I said that. I remember looking at him. I was like, I didn't say it. I was just looking at him. I was like, you don't want this as much as me. I just knew for a fact he didn't. And even though he came away with a win, I watched the fight yesterday, interestingly. And I watched every round up to the knockdown. And I thought, this fight, if you didn't see the knockdown, and I don't think that's what actually swung the fight anyway, but if you didn't see those 6 rounds, you could tell who was going on to win that fight. And the tide was turning. He was on the back foot. He was, and I'm only saying all this now because it's fresh in my head. You could tell the body language was different. He was on the back foot, circling around, not throwing as much. I was hungry, and then I was kind of walking him down and setting things up, landing shots. He was then cut. Blood was going. He was in his corner, breathing. The knockdown, though I don't think that would have changed. It wouldn't have changed the scorecards, but it looks like they were crazy wide. It gave him the momentum to right. I think I've got him, even though he didn't have me. He believed he did, and fair play to him. That's what gave him that kind of second wind. Yeah. To almost there. And
it is one of those things, though, isn't it? When you catch someone with a good shot, somehow it's like I always relate it back to football. When you got to defend, it's like fuck, I've got to track this guy back, but when your team breaks and you're in a position to go forward, somehow you've got this energy to go that way. And it's the same with boxing. You could be a bit behind, not get, you get one shot off or something that happens, somehow it gives you that. But You're at the stage where things are going to get interesting, I'm guessing, for 2026. For you
Yeah,
now.
yeah. As I said, though it may have been a loss in the ring, it was most certainly not a loss outside of the ring. For myself, what I proved to people, though I'm big on not having to prove myself, but it's, you know, it's always nice. My brand, in terms of my name, but my stock's gone up. I think a lot of things off the back of that fight have risen. And my management have already spoke about doing the rematch possibly next year for a major title, the British title.
Good. Congrats.
And I think that would be a big fight.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I do think 2026 is going to be a big year.
And as we go to branding, we move swiftly into. You got them there?
I do have them there.
Let's talk about your electrolytes. Let's talk about
You
them.
take that one.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, has Ben done this?
Yeah.
Ben's done it on a video, isn't he? Yeah. Okay.
That's on our Facebook ads and stuff.
Okay.
They're everywhere. Everyone keeps saying, I keep saying.
Yeah, I saw him do something. It's the mango one, right?
Up. Yeah.
He was.
Take that seal off.
That's cool. Oh, that is mangoed off, isn't it? Ooh. Okay, talk to me about it. Why is it good and why is it better than what's out there?
I'm not even going to give you a sales pitch because I don't feel like I need to, but I'm just going to give you the general. So, electrolytes, I'm a professional athlete, training all the time, was something that you need to help your performance, help your recovery. When you're training twice a day and I'm sweating as much as I do, the gym I train in, they put the heaters on. We're dripping in sweat. We're losing like kilos every training session.
Yeah.
So it was always something that was important, but there was never one where it's like, which one is the actual one to get? I've always been big on my whole foods. I like eating real food, not with loads of ingredients in. And when you look at the market, most electrolytes, they'd have sugar, maltodextrin, dextrose, like list all these chemicals that you can't pronounce the name of.
Yeah.
All of those things are artificial, sucralose and artificial flavors, colorings. I was like, well, I don't want that. And it was a real struggle to generally find an electrolyte that was just had what it needed without anything it doesn't.
Okay.
So I was like, well, why not make my own? Mandatory in terms of it's mandatory. It's mandatory. It's something that apparently, it's actually my dad. Apparently I used to say it a lot. I'd have my mandatory daily eggs, my mandatory 6 eggs at the time. I'd always have 6 eggs every single day. And I just used to say a lot, my mandatory coffee. And then that just kind of became the brand name. So yeah, these are all natural, no sugar, clean ingredients, and high quality ingredients as well. Pink Himalayan sea salt, magnesium, potassium.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate right now. Is that cool?
Go on.
Okay. How do I know it's not a load of bullshit you're telling me? Like, how do I know? Because I'm not educated like you.
Yeah.
So how do I know this is just not another, you're saying all the right things. There's no sugar, there's no this, no that. So what is in it?
UK law, like you have to put what's in it. So, I mean, I can't really lie because it says it on the top.
Oh, okay.
So that's one thing.
Okay.
Secondly would be genuinely the thousands and thousands of people that have bought them already, reviewed them, and we haven't had a single bad review about the product. And I hand on my heart when I say that. Not a single bad person, not a single person has said anything bad about the product.
Okay, so
how
often supposed to take this?
I'll take it every day.
What?
But me as an athlete, I'd say if you're not training intensely or you're not sweating a lot, you don't need electrolytes. And I'm quite big on saying that. I could sell more and make more money by telling people, have them every day, even if you go and do a sedentary job and you don't sweat. Well, I don't feel the need to say that, despite it would help me, but I don't believe in that. So I train a lot. As I said, I train twice a day, and I'm sweating a lot. I sometimes take them 2 times a day. When I was in Greece and Rhodes, I was taking them 3 times a day. But the general consensus is once to twice a day as an athlete.
Electrolytes is needed to replace the sweat or what we lose, right?
Yeah.
Why can't water just do that?
So when you sweat, you lose sodium. That's why when you sweat, it tastes salty. Yeah. Water doesn't have that in it, effectively.
Okay.
So you need this, and then not only do you lose sodium, you lose magnesium and potassium, which are essential minerals for your body to function. That's why your muscles cramp if you don't have electrolytes or you don't have enough salt in your diet.
Okay.
So these things, and I actually do put this down in my last training camp where when you train twice a day, you have that period in between to recover for the next session. Previously in camps, I always felt lethargic, felt tired, and when it come to the second session, you already exerted yourself enough in the first one. These I genuinely do think, and it's not a sales pitch, that those helped that. Because me taking those after the first session then allowed me to recover. My muscles weren't cramping, they were restored. all the salts were back in my body. I was then re-energized, rehydrated to go again for my second session.
Okay.
Replacing what I've lost effectively.
So we'll get a link on this when we do the promo, yeah? Get a little link on mandatory.
We are actually launching a third flavor, and I wanted to see what you think it might be. When does this come out?
Next week? Yeah.
What
next
date is
Sunday?
that?
23rd.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Or we could do it on the 30th.
the 30th might work.
Okay, that's fine.
Nah, do the 23rd. If anyone watches this, they get a sneak preview of what the flavor is going to be. That's fine.
Should we guess then, yeah?
Yeah,
Should we
you guess.
Kane, you want to guess the flavour?
What flavour?
Oh, no, is it exotic?
No clues. So we've got a mango. That's a mango, and this one's a watermelon lime. We've got a third flavour. That gives you a little bit of
Kiwi.
All right, kiwi. What do you reckon? Strawberry.
Like a mixed berries one or something.
He's on the right lines. He's on the right.
Blueberry.
Right. So I sat here. I put it behind me, and I was trying for you not to see when I walked in.
Cherry.
We've got cherry. That's the third flavour.
Yeah, I'll have a whiff of that one.
You have to get some water after you try it.
Oh. Yeah, that one's nice.
I think it's the best flavour yet.
That's nice. Yes. That's...
Yeah.
Everyone was having a little smell of it. Yeah, that's nice, that one.
Yeah.
So how many do you put in what?
Just one scoop.
In what amount of water?
Like 500 to 700 ml. It's like squash where it depends how strong you want it.
Yeah.
But 500 ml is like the
And
recommended.
you're saying 1 to 2 a day. But is it good to have it after you finish that first session, like bang, straight away? Or
So if I'm
during,
sparring, I normally take, because I don't really eat if I'm sparring early, say. I don't really eat. So I'll actually have them before. So I'm like ready. All my muscles are primed and ready to go. Got all the liquids and fluids and stuff in me. But yeah, people say when to drink it. It's kind of preference. Before, after, or during. There's like the three things.
Okay.
If you've lost a lot of sweat in the session, possibly after, yeah.
Okay.
Provided you're fueled already. Say if you've had a meal and you're fueled already going into training, you don't need it before. Take it after.
Okay.
But if my first session in the morning is at 9 a.m., I'm not going to be eating a meal, so I'll have that.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your overall understanding and thoughts on creatine?
They say it's the most researched supplement ever, don't they?
Yeah.
As in, it's good for you. That's
Do you want to say anything, son?
Yeah, because a lot of them, they have a lot of artificial sweeteners. You have to get the pure.
yeah. No, I only take just the creatine monohydrate, white powder. That's it. Yeah, but interestingly, as a professional athlete, I don't take any supplements other than electrolytes and creatine. They're the two things I do, and I have taken supplements before: vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. You end up loads of pills. Since I've stopped, I don't notice any difference at all. In fact, I feel better, and that brings it back to
I think it's a placebo effect.
possibly. But I think it brings back to the food thing where I said I like to keep things real, whole foods, natural. I don't want
Where are your parents from?
where they're from. My dad's from West London. My mum's from Suffolk.
No, but country. Are you English?
English, yeah.
You're English?
Yeah.
You got nothing else in you?
No. Why? What do I?
What
do you?
Mediterranean?
No.
No?
It's this Henley tea I'm wearing, isn't it? It's the Henley tea, and I've got a bit of a tan going.
Sunbed. Alright, cool.
Yeah, no, did he say sunbeds?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't take
The
sunbeds.
sun's been popping a little bit recently in November. Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to the stuff I've got here for you. Okay. Right, so rank these hardest to least hardest at their peak level. Okay, so I'll split it again. We've got sparring, track sprints, dieting, and conditioning. Now, if you think of your hardest conditioning session, your hardest type of spar, whether it's you're doing 10 rounds, but you've got 2 men in, 2 men out, whatever it might be. Track sprints, the hardest that you guys do as a team, and the dieting you've got to do maybe 4 weeks out from a fight. Would you rank those 4 as the hardest to least hardest?
From me personally, I know what you're gonna say because I've seen a clip from a previous podcast. I'm gonna put dieting as number 1.
Dieting. Yeah. That's your hardest thing to do.
And I don't really do a lot of it because
That's your hardest thing to do, though.
Out of all of them, I'd say, yeah. I'm a professional athlete. My job is to train. Sparring, tracks, I know it's going to be hard. Dieting is not, that's like an added, what's the opposite to bonus? An added, yeah, that comes with the job, which I don't want to do.
Okay.
So I'll put dieting first.
Okay, second.
So we've got sparring, track sprints,
track,
and
conditioning. But think of your hardest conditioning session, like, and your hardest track sprint. Like, don't just think of just sprints or just like the hardest one Barry would give you or Barry and the team would give you.
I'll be honest, I don't really do track sprints. So it's hard to say for that one. I guess I'd have to say conditioning, then sparring, then track. Okay. So dieting, conditioning, sparring, track.
Okay.
I reckon track should probably be higher, but I don't really do it myself.
Okay. I'm sure you will in time. Boxing fitness versus. So basically, your top peak fitness against these other sports. If you'd be able to, you got to just say, I'd be competitive, no way, or absolutely. Basically, your fitness would be more than good in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Your fitness versus basketball suicide sprints. Do you know what they are?
No, I don't. Is that like a bleep test thing?
Yeah, but it's every line sprinting, and you got to do it in a certain amount of time.
No, yeah, I'll be all right at that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Says doesn't go to the track, but he's going to do basketball sprints like it's nothing. Everyone heard that, yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The rugby, the physical aspect.
Nah, there's some big guys. I think. Yeah, there's no weight categories, is there? So you're on the pitch with big 100 kilo.
Do you not think you're... Could you get on that team and play?
No.
Okay, fairs.
I would like to stay honest. No.
Okay.
And I don't really have any intention of doing it either, to be honest. So I'm like, nah.
Pound for pound, so your weight,
Yeah.
with American football impact endurance. You're going against people your weight, and you're going boom.
I think I'm gonna have to stay honest. Probably not. Probably not. Though I'm in between here.
So your weight, between 76, 80 kilos.
Yeah.
You guys are going at it head on.
Oh, nah, true. I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, no, I would back myself for that.
Yeah?
I would, yeah.
Okay, cool. MMA fighter, UFC, put them together. Who's the fitter athlete? Boxer or MMA/UFC fighter?
How are we measuring the fitness?
Your fitness, your peak fitness.
Yeah, but how would we know who's fitter?
Just on a generic...
If we're fighting in the cage, him. If we're fighting in the ring, me. If we're running, like how...
Okay, let's open up a little bit. So if we're going in the cage, but stand up only. There's no grappling, there's no takedowns.
Me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
5-minute rounds.
Yeah, boxing. It's boxing fitness is like a... Yeah, it's... I've noticed even now, it's like how relaxed you are,
Absolutely.
how things like that. Whereas they might nick their rest when they're grappling and doing a bit of Brazilian jiu-jitsu because that might be their element.
Okay.
So if we're not doing that, me.
Okay, cool. Food. I'll say some things and then you need to just say, when you're out of camp, yes or no. Like, it doesn't actually phase you when you're out of camp if you want to have it or not. Yeah?
Okay.
Pizza.
Nah, don't really faze me. I like it, obviously, but...
Okay. Burgers.
Right, I'm going to interject here. Sorry, you're probably trying to get a clip or something, but I don't really diet until 2 weeks out from my fight. So I don't have to miss these things. Anyone that follows will know I eat cake all the time. So it's Whole Foods 80%, cake the other 20%.
Okay, basically. Let's go through the cakes then.
Yeah, let's go through cake.
Cheesecake. And listen, I'm a cheesecake connoisseur, so please be nice of how you talk about cheesecake.
Nah, if it's a good one, it's a very good one. If it's a rubbish one, it's always a very rubbish one. I've never really had an intermediate cheesecake.
So cheesecake, you got to have a digestive base.
Yeah.
You got to have the
and
full...
it's got to be a thick base as well.
And you got...
Yeah.
Okay.
The little crunch.
My guy. I love that.
Crumbling
yeah. Not interested.
No.
Apple crumble. Or a crumble with a different fruit.
It'd be like, though my missus's mum does make a very good crumble.
Okay. What other cakes?
I'm just saving my...
What other cakes? Because I've only had cheesecake and apple crumble here. You brought up cake, so...
What have we got? Have you ever had a Galaxy cheesecake cake?
That sounds way too chocolatey for me.
So you've got...
I'm not on the
I
chocolate
thought you'd
side.
like this.
No, I'm not on the chocolate. I'm on the...
Sponge, cheesecake, a full cheesecake. sponge on top. Unreal. Or another one is a cookie dough cake. A similar kind of premise.
Yeah.
Cake, cookie dough, cake, cookie dough, cake.
I tell you where I've been really surprised. What's that place called you like? The green drink? What? Yeah, matcha.
I can't say I've ever tried it.
The shop there, but the shop there, they have like carrot cake cookies. And it feels like you're eating a cake. You know cookies supposed to be like...
Yeah.
But it feels like you're eating a cake. And that for
Yeah.
me is... I was blown away by that. So that was very, very interesting.
I just love my cakes. I could talk about cake all day long. White chocolate, pistachio, and raspberry cake. There's a guy near me.
I can't go on the pistachio.
There's a guy near me. He's called George's Bakery, and he does like a market in Cambridge every other Saturday, I think, or every Saturday. And I've been twice, but he also does postal boxes. Honestly, some of the best cakes you'll get.
We know why Garten is number one now.
It has to be.
But the thing is, that was 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks are like, most fighters have to do 8. I'm still struggling in 2. Do you know what I mean? If you think about it now, that's me after 2 weeks. Imagine me after 8. Then I would be saying yes to pizza, yes to burgers.
Okay. Would you rather? Nice little game here. Would you rather spar 16 rounds, 4 sparring partners versus a back-to-back marathon a day apart? So back-to-back marathons.
Sparring.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've never run a marathon, and people keep asking, because in this camp I did a lot of running. I was doing 10 miles every Sunday for 9 weeks. So every Sunday, quite self-explanatory, run 10 miles. And then I'll also do running in the week as well. But
probably could do a marathon then.
That's what I'm thinking, but I've never actually trained for one. So I'm quite a good runner, but this doesn't interest me enough. I get bored. Half marathon's like perfect. Yeah, I'll do a half marathon. Yeah. And I feel like I could do a half marathon kind of whenever.
Okay.
But I have no intention to go and run for 4 hours for no real, what am I getting out of it?
Cool. Never watch telly again versus never listening to music again.
Never watch telly again. I don't watch telly. I only watch YouTube.
You can't watch that either.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd rather listen to music.
Okay. Never make a call again. Never text someone again.
Never text. I'm not a great texter.
You wouldn't be able to text anyone. You have everything.
Yeah, but you got to pick one. You got to pick one.
No, I know you do. I'm just saying.
What about voice notes?
Ooh. God, you found a little grey area there, isn't he? I suppose you could have voice notes. Yeah, that would get you out of it.
So I'd do voice notes and phone calls. And I saw something. Voice notes actually puts the stress onto the other person. The stress probably isn't the right word. You're being lazy sending a voice note, and they now have to stop what they're doing in their day to physically listen to your voice note, remember everything that you've said, and then reply back with a text.
Or a voice note back.
Well, yeah, or a voice note and put it back onto me. Yeah.
That's all I do is voice note.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, last thing we're going to do here, something my son thought of actually, which would be quite cool, is we're going to talk about, I'm going to name a few boxes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do 5 or 6 from the Misfits world. And your response is influencer, potential, legitimate boxer.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So influencers, like, they're just doing what they're doing, but they're not a boxer. Potential is, if they dedicate themselves for the next 3, 4, 5 years, it could go somewhere.
Yeah.
And legit is, they can box. Yeah?
All right,
Cool?
Yeah.
Salt Pappy.
Potential.
Okay.
Actually, I think he's all right, I think Salt Pappy's all right.
Do you think the weight was an issue for him? Losing so much over a very...
What was that, the Tony Ferguson fight? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because being honest, I watched Misfits early on, but I haven't watched it. I watched Salt Pappy when he boxed some American guy, knocked him out in 2 rounds.
Oh, that was his first one.
Since then, I haven't really watched it.
Yeah.
No, I think he's all right. I actually think he's all right.
Yeah. G the Fox? Or Fox the G, is it his name? Fox the G?
I honestly, I don't. Influencer.
Okay, cool.
Influencer. Sorry, I don't.
KSI?
Potential.
Jake Paul?
Boxer.
Okay.
From what we've seen.
Fair comment. Do you know King Kenyas?
Yeah, but I haven't watched too much of him fighting though. I'd say again, potential. You know the thing with these guys, they spend their day training like an athlete. They have
And
good
that's
teams
my
around.
argument with people
They
like
have-
Jake Paul. Like whether you like him
Yeah,
or loathe him,
yeah.
he's got enough money to have the best nutritionists, conditioning, and coaches around him.
But
to,
that
to
aside,
bring
he's
him
got
up.
enough money to not have to train, get punched in the head, put yourself through all kind of things. Why do you need to do that? So the fact that he has my respect.
Darren Till?
Yeah, he can fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can fight.
Okay. So we've got to be careful about some of the names we say here, don't we, Joe? Because things get taken off. But there's a person you mentioned
Yeah.
at some point today.
Yeah.
What do you think? Influencer, boxer, or
Wait,
potential?
today I mentioned.
Yeah, you mentioned his surname. Don't say it. He's fighting in December. Very controversial figure, bald head.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Influencer, potential, or fighter. Not boxer, they say fighter because he comes from the kickboxing world, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he comes from that, and then that would lead me to say fighter. However, seeing him now and what he then did achieve back then, you could argue opponents, were they great? Don't know. Were the belts he won actual belts? Don't know.
Okay.
So, but then it's hard not to when I believe that individual has had, say, 90 odd fights as a professional kickboxer. He's also, 40 odd now? So I'm leaning in between like the top two. What was it, like potential?
Sure.
It's hard to say potential because he's stepped in the cage, in the ring multiple times. So it's probably hard to say that. But in terms of his general ability as a boxer, yeah, I don't really.
Okay.
Style, isn't it? You saying
Yeah, awkward style, yeah.
very strange. But he's
Yeah.
got good head movement too.
Okay. And you now? Don't want to mention too many names because you're in a very,
Influencer.
No, not that question. You are a bona fide boxer. Who are you? Who's in your sights in your division? And I don't mean we're not here to call no one out. I'm saying
no.
who's in your sights because it's a very very competitive division, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's less about who and more about what. So I want the British title. And
And who has that right now?
Callum Simpson, but I believe he's vacated it, or either vacated or vacating it. And he's fighting Troy Williamson next month, I believe, December something 20th.
Okay.
So then they're fighting, and I think they're fighting for the European and the Commonwealth.
Okay.
So the British title's then free.
Okay.
So it'd be like, I'll have a fight in February, March next year, get a win under my belt, and then possibly rematch my
For the
opponent
British.
or fight someone else for the British, yeah.
Okay. And your top 3 favorite fighters?
Okay, Roberto Duran.
3 reasons why.
I'll do the 3 first. That's too much for my brain to handle.
Okay.
Roberto Duran, Joe Calzaghe, Marvin Hagler. I think it's hard to say 3. I've already just thought of someone else I could have put. But like those.
Do you know what? That's I know, but I've never really heard those 3 put together like that. Let's talk about it. So Duran, what is it about him that you?
It's actually shout out to Lee Wiley. He I say put me on. Obviously, I knew who Duran was, but I know he loves Roberto Duran. And then I started watching him. I thought, wow, like actually the things he does, that it's like jazz. The better it is, the less people appreciate it. Boxing is the same. The more intricate it is, the less people appreciate it. They just want a big punch up. Duran's inside game is immaculate. Yeah. The things he was doing, the rolling shots, he was so relaxed inside, and the thing you couldn't even, like the average Joe wouldn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But he is that for me that's why he's on there. Joe Calzaghe was actually one of the fighters that I watched when I was young, and he's British. I think he's one of the best fighters to come out of Britain. I know it's Wales, but Britain.
Did he swerve anyone though before they were too late?
Carl Froch might watch this and he'll be like, "What?"
Well, he's one of them. But did he? What? I'm not going to pretend like I know enough about him.
I've read his
Joe
book as well when I
Calzaghe.
was younger. That might be why it's kind of swayed me.
But he was definitely fighting around the same time as James Toney, Roy Jones Jr.
That's another one. James Toney.
Roy Jones Jr. They should have fought earlier on. And what would have happened?
I can't really comment either because it was before my era. So you know, like the politics of what's happening at that time, you don't see that now, do you?
Yeah.
You just see the record, you see the fights.
Yeah,
You don't know the ins and outs of. So it's hard to comment on that.
I think the points that I've received from people that are more experienced than me was that English people were making a lot of money here and didn't need to go over the pond, whereas now people need to go over the pond to make that big
Joe
check.
Calzaghe was
But
also not making any money at all. He was on like some slave contract
that was sounding about right.
early on, and he was fighting for, I think it was his 20th fight, and he was getting like £200 a week. Yeah, and now he was like fighting for a world title.
Yeah,
things like that. It's crazy.
And I remember that point to come back to because I'm gonna go through the other two. Marvin Hagler.
Again, someone I just used to watch growing up a lot on YouTube. His style. I mean, southpaw. It's not really. Often you watch similar with Calzaghe, but often you watch fighters that are like similar to you, and you kind of see things in yourself. But I just like the way he fights and watched a lot of his fights. Yeah, and I think he just was one of the greatest.
One of the greatest. Yeah, I mean that first round with him and Tommy Hearns probably.
Yeah. Again, when you're in fights like that, it's hard not to. But not only was he in fights like that, he also
dominated.
How
long did he have it for? 7 years? He had the world title for? I have to get that up after, but I think he held it for a very long time, like from 1980
They all just built different, I think,
yeah.
that era. Again, that's why I kind of bring it back to the way I train now. I lift weights and I run. And obviously boxing. Boxing comes first, but those two. A lot of fighters now, they do these S&C, they do the jumping around and the, like, oh, let's measure how high you can jump, this and that. I don't care about that. And I've done this. Now I know what works for me. I run far and often, and I lift weights, and I spar, and I do meticulous shadow boxing drills. That's me. And it worked for the old school.
Did you hear
guys.
that? There weren't 10,000 things he mentioned, guys. Boxing's simple. I'll go as far back as to Muhammad Ali, obviously. That's a standard. That's groundwork, though. Everyone knows about groundwork.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali, he will not, you can try it after, I know you're a bit geeky with this, Joe. You won't find Muhammad Ali doing pads. You will not find a video or a picture of him doing pads.
He's going to go find one now, isn't he?
He's going to try.
Yeah. AI.
Bag work. Yeah, it's going to be AI. Bag work, conditioning, sparring was literally, they're the main consensus of the sport. And like I mentioned earlier in the show, is that there is a lot of frills and spills and tricks and flicks. People go, oh, yeah, that's going to work. You know? And it's really, for someone your age, to have that mindset now, I think you're going to go very, very far. To have that mindset, I'm going to keep it what I need to do and just keep doing it over and over and over again, I think it's really, really impressive.
Thank you. And I feel like everyone is different. So I'm not going to paint everyone with the same brush, but...
No.
No, in terms of so the way I lift weights and stuff, I'm quite anti the whole S&C at the moment. It's just, but some people it works for.
Does it though? Does it? Or is it a
placebo
placebo
effect? They effect? But then, then the
but
placebo is still
it's an effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if that helps you, but I just think if you were to get all those minutes and put it in a jar,
and put it okay.
Where else could you put that? For boxing-esque.
So I always tell people, I said at my recent YouTube video actually, boxing comes first in terms of if you're like, what should I do today? Should I run? Should I lift weights? Or should I go to the boxing gym? Go to the boxing gym. Unless you got to drive an hour and a half, and then it's like. Maybe go for a run instead.
What time did you leave in the morning when you were in camp then?
I was sparring at the Peacock 3 times a week at 9. So I was leaving mine at like 7:15. Go grab a coffee or get some fuel on the way. Go spar, like top level rounds, 10 rounds, and then go back home and rest a little bit, eat my sourdough eggs, have an espresso, top up with some electrolytes and go to the gym again. But the weights I lift, I guess... What I'm saying is, my last fight, I guess someone could say, oh, well, you lost, but my conditioning was absolutely fine. I felt fit, I felt strong, so everything I knew Like I feel like I was perfectly prepared for that fight. And what did I do? I ran, I sparred a lot, and I lifted weights twice a week, sometimes 3. But and the weights aren't massively heavy. I'm not lifting like a bodybuilder. Actually, I all lift explosively. I might do 15, 20 reps, but it's medium weight, explosive.
Yeah. Relevant.
Yeah.
Relevant. Yeah. Okay.
But I remember early on, people saying either don't lift weights, or if you do lightweight, high reps. And I wouldn't say I'd agree with any of those. It's like medium weight. You want to be lifting something.
You want to feel something.
Feel something, but to a point where you can do it explosively. Yeah. That's like I'm mimicking like a chest fly there. So yeah, rather than like 2 kg dumbbells and like curling them for 300 reps, it's pointless.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got the electrolytes. It's gonna be mandatory for everyone. 2026, we've got a brand new flavor. It's gonna be hitting the online. Yeah. We'll get in this podcast for people to see. They can obviously click it, like it, order it. I'm excited to see what happens with you. 24 years old, starting to come into this next year's gonna be a big year for you. And we wish you nothing but the best. Keep training hard. Keeping your presence. I mean, your presence is great on social media, and that adds to, things outside of boxing. And yeah, we wish you the best of luck for next year. Thank you for coming on board. Yeah,
Thank
cheers.
You. I appreciate that.
Square Circle Podcast. Frankie Davey.